Hey, Norcal Karters. It is Monday, February 14th, and it's Valentine's Day. And you know who I am. I'm Jason. This is my wife, Cayla. And tonight we are doing the couple show. And so if you're tuning in and you want to join the show, let us know. You have to PM us your email address. So in the future, if you want to be on the shows, you got to follow our Facebook page, Norcal Karters, or Instagram, because we put the posts out a couple weeks in advance, and that's how we line up our guests. So without further ado, let's bring on Ashley and Josh first. Ashley, say hello.
Hey.
Hey. And your better half, Josh.
Hi, guys.
There's Josh, so Ashley and Josh. And then we also have joining us tonight, Jim and Kassy Kidd. Good evening.
Hi.
I love the background. Thanks for joining us tonight. And again, this is Couples in Karting. So basically, again, if you're watching and you want to join, drop us a quick email or drop us a DM with your email. We'll send you the link on how to log in. But it's really about, I'm a karter. My wife's a teacher. Ashley's been around the sport forever. Josh, how long have you been around the sport?
I turned 32 yesterday, so I started when I was 9.
9. So 23 years for Josh. And then Jim and Kassy, how long have you guys been around?
Well, we started indoor karting in 2000, and then 2003, bought my first shifter cart. So 19 years behind the wheel of a shifter cart.
19 years. And Kassy, how about you?
The same. We got him into the indoor karting because it was a lifetime membership, and they were doing members nights, and he's like, "You've got to come drive the cart." And I was like, "I don't want to drive the cart. I see you guys out there. It's scary. They're crashing people, throwing them under the barriers." I was shaking when I got in the cart.
Wasn't that bad.
We had some people go to the emergency room.
Not us.
Not us. Chicanes.
Was that
Huh?
at Le Mans?
No, that was speedring indoor
Speedring.
kart racing. That was the precursor to Le Mans. Yeah. That was Santa Clara.
Yeah. I used to live in Morgan Hill. That's why I grew up in Morgan Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I know all the young bucks. Like I remember you growing up. I say growing up. I'm an old man now, so you're still young. But I remember, it was Graham Downey, Neil Joseph. There was a bunch of kids that worked there that ended up going to car stuff or karts or wherever
They were doing car stuff.
And then Le Mans opened, and then everybody kind of migrated to Le Mans because speedring. Let's just say they didn't last long.
But it was
and it wasn't due to the racers not showing up.
No, it was But the track was amazing because it was a racing track for indoors. I mean, you could pass. You make one little mistake, people could pass you. We went to Le Mans. We did like a couple of other tracks. We went to Maryland. We did an indoor track there.
North Carolina.
Yeah, but
Boston.
Speedring was it was a great track to learn how to race on. And then me and Allison was only probably 80 pounds. She's like 4'11". We were the fastest ones out there.
Not when it got cold, because when it got cold,
they would just tap. They just like tap, and we're like, shoo, there we go off the track.
I was like, the first 3 laps, I was like, I got grip, you don't.
I think that's why you're so good outdoors in the cold. I mean, first thing in the morning, you're like.
You call me fat?
No.
We're not calling you fat. We're calling you overstuck.
What does that mean? You're so good.
No, you're just good in the cold. On the cold track, I'm not. I go right off the track.
She's calling me fat.
You just have a high center of gravity.
Yeah, look at all the fat guys that are good in the rain.
So for those that are watching, you can chat live either on Facebook or on YouTube, and the comments will come in, and we can we can respond back to you. And again, the whole point of this show is just, obviously it's Valentine's Day. I needed some way to get out of taking my wife out to dinner because I'm a terrible husband.
Wait, I'm on this side.
Oh, that's what it was.
But the whole idea of the show is, again, if you want to join, let me know. But the whole idea of the show is the supporting cast behind the scenes. And I've been around the sport for 25 years. And like as I mentioned earlier, Cayla's a teacher. So she's been around the sport for a while as well, but in just different supporting roles. And I thought it'd be neat to kind of get the different perspectives from everybody. And just with the three couples we have on tonight, it's actually a pretty good mix because we have myself and Cayla, where I drive and I do everything. I do everything in karting. I'm a karting whore. And then my wife, she holds down the house. Or if I get too much, she goes, "Hey, maybe you just need to go to the track and get out of here and go karting." And in a lot of ways, that's very supportive. Then we have Jim and Kassy. They when we say they race together, they both race. They both drive karts. And then you have Ashley and Josh. Josh is back in the kart again. He's been tuning for a number of years. And then, there's Ashley holding down the house and showing up to the track or doing scoring for people. So there's a lot going on. And again, I thought it would be just kind of a neat concept. This is actually Ashley's idea for the couples of karting. Happy Valentine's Day, Mark. Right House Racing. Happy Valentine's Day to you. So who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about Valentine's Day? What'd you guys do today for Valentine's Day? How did you show that special someone I love you? Josh is smirking. You go first.
You really I mean, like 30 this morning. And I was like, bye. Gotta go to work.
You left at what time?
Like 7.
Oh, 7. Okay. And you're like, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of
Well,
here.
and then it kind of sucks too because his birthday is the 13th. So for years, Josh and I have been together for a long time, over half of our lives. We have now added. And so his birthday is on February 13th. So you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's your birthday, but now it's Valentine's Day. So
One and done.
yeah. So we do our Valentine's Day weekend is it's very much like birthday and Valentine's Day mixed into one. So yeah. We've been married since 2012.
Burrell.
Huh?
I see you use that picture of not the Burrell and Tony Kart one.
Which one?
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so I'll explain. Our wedding invitations. So Josh used to be on Cambria and go-karts, and then David moved to Tony Kart. So we were like feuding teams at one point. And so in our wedding invitation pictures, he's wearing a Burrell polo and I'm wearing a Tony Kart polo. And we sent those out for our wedding formal invitations. Okay. And side note, fun fact, Donald Durbin was our best man. And then Matt Dixon was also in our wedding. So big names. We know a lot of people.
Name dropping.
Yep. So, but we are going to be celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary this year. So anybody that wants to give Josh some really good ideas for a trip,
okay,
pop in his DM. NorCal.
We're not sure if Josh is in shock or his camera froze.
Right? I think he's having connection issues right now.
Yeah,
I think so.
he's at a hotel too. So, but yeah, and then we have if you go back to our pictures,
Why? Can you-
we have a little baby girl that gets to grow up at the track with us.
Yep.
This was on the left, it was Bring Your Kid to Work Day at Sonoma. I can't remember what race that was, but I brought her with me, and that was awesome because at that time she would just sit and chill. Now she
Now it's not
No.
happening.
Now you need a lead.
yeah.
You gotta get her one of those leashes that has a lock
Yeah.
cable.
Yeah, and then right on the right, racing's definitely in her code. We're a racing family, so she's exposed to a lot of racing things and tools, and they're her favorite, and all that stuff like that. So. In the next slide over here, we got her in a go-kart, testing out Uncle David's go-kart. And yeah.
And yeah. You back,
Is that
Josh?
better now? Yeah, I'm back. I just didn't know if it's better to I reconnected to the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
You're talking, but you're not moving, but that's okay.
Little choppy.
We can hear you.
But yeah. So.
Camera.
That's what's nice about
Well, then we can't see him.
Wi-Fi.
I understand
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, so if you see us at the track, I'm probably running after a little girl that has a Norcal Karters t-shirt on. And he's working on something. And yes, he is back in the go-kart now, which is fun because when we first met, we met at Prairie City. And the very first time I watched him race, I was like, geez, this guy's bad. I was like, who's this guy that's like pushing people out the way? Like, what's happening? Meanwhile, like the butterflies in my stomach are just building and building. And I'm like, you're not being serious right now. This is not happening. And then I met him, and the rest was history.
Poor Josh. His wife just said she likes bad drivers.
Well, that we literally don't even know when, but that was years ago. You've gotten a lot better now. I still want to Duffy though.
Josh is going, why am I here?
Don't sugarcoat it, babe. I'm still a bad driver. It's okay.
I do want a Duffy though, so when I get one of those, maybe I'll have something nice to say.
So, Josh, what was your lap time out at Prairie City the other day?
Well, I'm gonna run senior in Prairie City Club this year, and I got down Saturday. I got down to a 50.5.
Nice.
Pretty consistent. So it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
I was on tires. So it was the first time I had driven for nationals. It wasn't terrible.
Nice. So the senior, finally, you're dropping back down to the rightful class.
Well, no, I'll run senior because the goal is to go to Indiana. I want to go back and I want to run the CKNA Grands in Indiana. So I just want to basically try to make myself better. And running with the kids is just going to make me better.
Well, I'm just going to forewarn you. If you're younger than me, but you're running Masters, I'm going to give you a hard time.
All right. It's all right. Hey, I'm 32 years old and I still got fourth. Okay, all the guys that beat me were older than me.
That's a reason to quit right there.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not that good. I'm still not that good.
All right, Jim and Kassy. Let's go through your slideshow here in a second. Let's see here.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see. Let's see here. So your home track is Sonoma Raceway?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us what classes you guys run?
So today we're both running rock shifter. I'll flip flop back and forth between.
We're running the limited.
Kassy will run limited, and I'll flip flop back and forth between Rock and Rock Limited in Sonoma. 125 shifter. It's fun. I mean, that Rock shifter package is so much better than the Honda. I mean, you know what? I get why we raced them, but those were dump truck motors. The Rock shifter, it's a nice package. You can buy a competitive motor. You'll be a few tenths off unless you get it, fully sorted and get somebody to go through the carburetor and all that stuff off. But with a fast driver, you can't. Look at the times in Vegas. You could not separate anybody between the first 10 positions. It was like 5 tenths. I don't know what it was. 7 tenths.
It was
super close.
Super close.
And that's that's 125 shifter kart racing. When you get shifter karts that close, the motor packages are pretty close.
Yeah, it's been a pretty popular package for 4 or 5 years now. And then at Sonoma with the introduction of the limited class or the limited package. And then for those that don't know, the limited, it's the same engine package as your senior or your master's shifter class. The only difference is it has an exhaust restrictor to bring the horsepower and the torque down a little bit. And it's been very popular as a local option class.
Yeah, the sport's grown. I mean, when I first got there, it was 6, and now it's like up to sometimes 10 to 15 drivers.
Yeah.
No.
And the racing all year long was very close.
And the racing's good.
And the crashing is consistent. Back in the day when we had 35 drivers, they still do the same thing. Run right over you and go, "Why did you chop me?"
Jim, you were very consistent last year at getting involved in accidents.
I was 6 for 6 until we got the last 3 races. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so glad too because the repairs to fix the car, and I was like, "Oh no, not again!"
First time in history, I got a YouTube video of somebody hitting my radiator and injecting it across the track. I thought,
"Oh yes!"
I thought, "Oh, poor soul, he lost his radiator when he hit me." Then I looked over and I was like, "No, that's me."
Is that on YouTube? Is that on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Oh, how do I find it? I'll bring it up real quick.
I don't think it's on YouTube. Is it?
I don't know.
No, it should be on YouTube.
It should be.
Yeah.
How do I find it?
It should be under Jim Kidd Racing, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's what we've been doing. I went to Pat's Acres this past year, got the crap kicked out of me. Josh, if you forget about going to Indiana, go to Pat's Acres.
Yeah.
I've been to Pat's.
It's like Big Dixon on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place is.
You can't let go of the wheel. At least Dixon, you can let go of the wheel until you hit a bump.
I know, Jim. He never any of his practice sessions. He pulled in early. Because I got to save myself for the race.
So here's what happens when it's couples in karting. She knows exactly what I'm doing out there and will call my bluff.
Oh, yeah.
So my advice is race a different class.
He'll be in the same class.
Yeah.
Hey, but you finished the race.
I'm trying to find that video, and I've seen the video, but I've only seen it in text. But I don't see it here on YouTube.
It may or may not be. I don't know. You know what? I don't post. I'm an old man. I don't have time to post stuff. Once I'm done with karting, I need a margarita. I need some food.
You get a margarita,
and I need
you get
sleep.
On the scales.
And then I got to go work because I'm paying for it myself. And I'm paying for 2 karts.
I pay for my own karting. Excuse me.
Now, have you guys ran into each other before?
No, funny story about running into each other. The only time she drilled me at Speed Ring indoor kart racing and sent me under the tires. My helmet went under the tires and I was under the barrier and
He was very upset.
I was pissed. I was like, "You do that to me, man, I would send your ass packing."
He was very upset. He let me know it too.
Oh yeah. Let's just say the next pass,
slow down.
the next pass I made, I rubbed her out good. I was like, nah, it ain't happening.
Is this the photo from Kassy at the indoor place?
Yeah, that's my
I
second.
just stuffed Jimmy under the wall.
Look at that.
That's 2009 championship season at Norcal, I think.
That's Sonoma. Yep.
Yeah. I see. That's right.
That was Rock Vegas this year.
Yep.
See, you like how I suck it in?
Look at how good
You know when I'm driving?
Yeah, I like how you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I suck it in when I'm driving. That I just posed for the photo, and after that I exhale and pull off.
It's a nice suit.
Yeah, I wish I could find that video because it's a classic.
It looks so short.
You can put it in your trailer for the next time you say, "Hey, welcome to karting, fellas."
Yes.
Put this on your bucket list.
Well, you sent it over. What is it? That was like what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I have it on my old text lines, but yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I mean, just you got ran over, and then the picture of a radiator just flying perfectly through the air. And in the picture, you can't even tell if it's dented or anything. I mean, it looks like someone just like kind of pushed it forward like a chest pass with the radiator. $800 radiator.
Yeah.
I had that $800 radiator for 15 years.
Yeah, you got your money's worth.
Well, you gave me the other $800.
You had the old one. Oh no, that was 8 years.
One.
Yeah, that was 8 years.
Yeah, I have the other radiator, the other one, and I got ran over in tic-tac-toe. Going through tic-tac-toe in the race, the kid came up. I hit the berm wrong, and the kid came up and on top of me. And I was like, "What just happened?" I just went flying around in my radiator, but we were actually able to get it welded back, and so I'll still be using it for the last how many years?
Sorry, we got a little photo bomber in here.
No, I could see.
Oh,
I could see an outline of a little head.
Hold on there.
Did we just get someone new on?
Yeah, our new guest. Are you coming on? No.
Just wave. Just give us a wave.
Well, if the subject matter is couples in karting, eventually couples in karting turns into, oh crap, we're having a baby in karting.
Ta-da!
Couples who used to kart.
And frankly, they're not useful until they get to like 12 or 13.
They're not. Yeah. Actually, I will say, she when it came to getting her kart, she actually helped put together her first kart. She didn't drive it very much. She's not a driver. And then the second, she got mad when I sold it. And then the second kart, she actually went outside and started cleaning it and pulling it apart and working on it. So yeah, she doesn't mind working on it. But she's hiding down there somewhere.
No, that was the one thing
weird.
When I started go-karting is Jim is like, you have to learn how to work on your own kart, fix your own problems when it goes wrong and how to repair it. And so that was a big thing for me because I can change the oil in a car. That's about it.
What is it?
Oh.
He's a turd.
Welcome to Texas, fellas. That hole.
Like what?
Yeah. I can do just about everything. The alignment thing gets me. I don't understand that whole alignment, the grid. So he always helps me with the alignment. That's good. The piston, I'm kind of okay, but I'm scared of it because I don't want to mess it up. So he helps me with the piston too. Everything else I can do.
Well, that's right. I mean, you guys race together. I mean, you're both racing, so it's kind of hard. If you're not working on your stuff, then you either need to have multiple mechanics to keep both cars going, or you got to work on your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been running to the grid for the start many a times because I forget to tighten something up, or I'm changing the gear and I forget to tighten the stubber, and it's just like panic mode. And I get out there and I'm like, oh no. And then I was like, oh, I don't even have the thing on the spark plug. I was like, okay, no wonder it's not starting.
I love how she says the thing on the spark plug. I'm like, yes, we've been doing this for 20 years. It's called a boot.
I know it's a boot.
It's the thing.
That's okay. I call the tire, gun. That's what we need to tighten up the screws.
Yep.
Okay, she goes, it won't go. I'm like, what won't go? You, the cart? What? Help me. She goes, just listen. I'm like, it's not running.
It was like, it's the guy coughing down the straightaway.
Oh, he got a bunch of funny stories.
Well, once I found out Cayla could lift a cart, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna work out. I'm gonna marry this chick. Then she stopped going the track. It's like, what?
If I do all the lifting here at home.
That is true.
She is a saint, y'all. She is a saint.
Why does everybody say that?
Dude,
It's so obvious.
I do not know. Sometimes I'm talking to you and I'm like,
I know.
how does your wife do this? How?
I actually go to work.
Right?
I mean, she's definitely my exact opposite. That's for sure.
Oh, no.
We need.
That was just recently. So we went up to Tahoe December after Christmas.
Okay. Oh.
And it was at least
It's not Tahoe.
Donner Lake up near Tahoe. I don't know. It was 10 feet. The berms.
Oh, had to be.
Oh, that's when it got dumped on.
Yeah, it was New Year's. Yeah.
Yep. And then this is Monterey Bay.
Yep.
Which was fun.
It was actually kind of sad. I'm going through my camera. It's like I don't have a lot of pictures of my wife and I.
I
have food, I have go-karts, and I have me and my daughter.
Oh, you better work on that one.
I know. Well, I think all of our couple photos are in her phone.
Yep. He should have just asked.
And that's our little spy in the middle, the one that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
That was in Sonoma at the
Hey.
mission.
Lillian,
Did you get your chicken wings?
Yeah.
I sent extra because your dad only put a couple in there, and I made sure he put a bunch.
Okay.
See, at least we know even Tavish is listening. She deals with you.
I sure do. Just sometimes.
Tavish, we know someone's out there dealing with you too. So. But yeah, that's my better half.
So Jason, how did you guys meet?
At the track.
Well, how? Like
Prairie City.
you were like, hey, can you lift up my go-kart? And then you were like, okay, let's get married or what?
No, I don't move that fast on anything. You're still waiting on polo shirts. No, we met at the track and we were hanging out for a couple of years and yeah.
At Prairie City, where Josh and I met.
Yeah.
Like, where are you? Down here.
So if you're a man on the prowl, stay away from Prairie City.
Yeah, I got to Prairie City.
Oh, wow.
If you want to be a Rolling Stone. Oh, there's Tavish. Tavish's wife is at work, and I love that she hates karting.
Oh.
Now the question is, does she hate it because of the money that's spent or the time that he's gone?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or does she just not like it because it's like, that's not my thing?
Well, maybe Tavish should call in, or we should just call his wife.
Actually, I'm not going to get into it because it's not my place, but if Tavish wants to chime in with her background in karting, she actually comes from a karting background.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Oh.
Out of New Orleans.
No. Tavish, you out there?
Send us a message, Tavish.
Send us a message.
I'll work on it in a sec. All right.
Yeah.
And then Jim and Kassy, did you tell us where you guys met? Prairie City?
Well, yeah. It's a city.
Especially not in Prairie.
Let's see, 29 years ago. So that's older than some of the people on this video call.
Probably.
How
old?
So 29 years ago, I was 27 years old, and she was on a date with a friend of mine. Me and my brother went to a party that was in Houston, Texas.
We were at the club.
And
I was
then,
with my friends.
and then
my
2
printing
weeks.
friends.
Well, then 2
Yeah.
weeks later, I ran into her at a bar, and I was with a buddy of mine. He got shit-faced drunk and left me. I was like, crap, I need to ride home. I can walk it, but it's not really that far. It's a long walk. And back then, don't even think about cab or Uber.
There was no such thing.
There is steal a bicycle or run.
So I was
That was so romantic.
with my printing buddies. They were all my friends were guys. So I was there with them, and we're like, hey, can we give him a ride home? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Well, he can ride the back of the truck.
So her boyfriend, not boyfriends,
But my
but
friends.
her friends are all guys that she was hanging out with a bunch of guys. It's like she had a security posse. You can come with us. Yeah, ride in the back of the truck. I'm like, back of
It was warm. It was summertime.
the... So they're back in the truck, and I'm like, they go, well, hey, you want to go to the beach with us? I'm like, sure, but I got to get some clothes. How about a toothbrush? Can I get a toothbrush? And so then we headed straight to Galveston. So from Houston to
You forgot
Galveston.
the first part. So I put him on my couch at our house, and I had roommates, and I told the girls, like, hey, hands off, because I might want this with.
I might want this.
Leave him alone. Don't mess with him.
So Prairie City must have a couch.
We ended up going to the beach, and then we did it the next weekend and the next weekend. Yep. And that was it. On. And he could cook.
Oh yeah,
that
is one thing. So
that was good.
So Josh got a smoker for Father's Day, and I was like, I expect not to cook while you're home. Thanks.
That's what you said to Josh?
Yeah. So we got him a smoker, a Pit Boss, because that's the one Dale Jr. uses. Okay. And so we got Pit Boss, and we went, and he picked it up, and he was so proud, like we were just bringing our baby home from the hospital. And I was like, okay, so I'm not cooking while you're home, right? And it's worked out so far. Right. What do you like to cook on your Pit Boss? Since all the guys like to cook here.
My favorite
Chicken.
Josh.
Go ahead.
I said my favorite's beef ribs.
Beef ribs.
Oh, yes. We are doing a cook-off.
I don't know. It's pretty. My brother-in-law made some pretty damn good ribs yesterday for my birthday.
Oh, beef ribs, though. Oh, yes.
Yeah, the way to go. It's the next best thing if you don't want to spend like 15 hours or 16 hours smoking a brisket. Beef ribs is the way to go.
They're different, though. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's the way. It's my favorite.
Let's see. Oh, Josh Buttafuoco.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, you got it. There you go, Ashley.
Josh Buttafuoco picked up his old lady. His lady.
No, lady. Had an indoor karting track.
The indoor karting track 12 years ago.
How about
sleeping on the couch tonight.
Me, I was like, whoa, what did I get into right there?
What karting track was it?
Hey, Josh,
yeah.
what karting track was it?
Josh Buttafuoco, tell us what karting track it was.
Hey, since we're talking about food, this is my favorite go-to question. Jim and Kassy. Yeah. You're like, huh? When you guys are on the road, what is your favorite go-to place to stop while you're on the road when you're traveling for karting?
For food or just to stop?
Just for food.
We don't have one.
It depends on where we're
We
going.
usually take it with us.
Yeah, it's usually in the back of the truck.
Oh, as far as you bring your own food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But going to Oregon to Patch Acres, we stopped at that little place.
Oh,
Superfly
Superfly vodka.
vodka. So they distill their own vodka, and the food was, what was fish?
Oh no, it was a cod sandwich. It was
Cod
amazing.
sandwich. Yeah, that's
It's
what
amazing.
it was very good.
I'm kind of confused by your body language there, Kassy. It's like, yes, fish. That was very good.
It was fish. Cod is a fish.
Caught as a fish. So what's it
Now,
called again?
if we're on the road, we're gonna try and find something off the beaten path if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like fast food. Usually for me, it's like, hey, you got to pee. All right, you got 10 minutes. That's what my gas stop is. I'll do it behind the truck and off we go.
The one time we went to Vegas though, when we were driving, we went to the Euro place out in the middle of nowhere.
The Mad Greek in Baker, California.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to Mad Greek. That's I like Greek food. That's good.
That was good.
Yeah. All right, Josh, this is your opportunity to save your family name. On the road, favorite go-to place.
He says it because he doesn't like the place that I chose.
What is it?
What? Where? No, honestly, like, favorite restaurant to go to in LA when I'm traveling for work is Mama's Comfort Food and Cocktails in Los Alamitos. It's
Ooh,
good.
that's-
Mama's Comfort Food and Cocktails. What city is
that's
that
like
in?
one of my spots. Like I said, that's Los Alamitos. El Farolito in Anaheim is a Mexican restaurant that's really, really good. I don't know. Like last year, I probably did over 220 nights in hotels for work. So my big thing is I try not to eat at chain restaurants.
Yep.
So if I'm gonna go out and eat every night, I'm not gonna go out and eat at like an Olive Garden or a typical. So like I try to go to find local restaurants. A lot of times it's like pub and grubs because I like drinking beer. But for the most part, those are a couple of my favorites though. I got a pretty much a favorite in every town I go to. So
Nice.
I travel a lot.
All right.
Ashley, I'll let you answer that
Buttafuoco
question.
came back. He said driven indoor in Rohnert Park.
Oh, okay.
That's where he
That's
met.
where he met his wife, driven.
His lady.
His lady. All right, Ashley. Favorite road stop when you're going to and from the track?
Unfortunately, driven's not there anymore though.
You already know. So it's In and Out. But then in Sonoma, I always go to Angelo's. And you know, and everybody knows at Sonoma that I go to Angelo's.
Yeah, Angelo's.
And nobody argues or anything. They're just like, all right, she's going. It's fine.
Yeah.
No,
the reason I asked you again
She's going.
the reason I asked you again is because Kayla's go-to is In and Out.
I could eat In and Out every day.
All day.
Larry does In and Out all the time.
And it drives Jason nuts. It's a very popular stop.
I know.
Yeah.
And I
All
hit it
I
frequently as
gotta
well.
say is, when you young bucks get to 54, I guarantee you're not eating an In and Out every day. Your gut's gonna tell you no.
You know what? In and Out's a lot better for me than Maya.
We used to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
The margarita? Oh my god.
Oh, Maya's food is so good, Maya Planka, but oh my god, the margaritas.
Yes.
Tell them about the salsa.
It's hard just to have one. Oh, and yes.
All
And my
right.
daughter goes the salsa, the habanero salsa.
Oh, it's so
Oh
good.
actually my favorite thing is Whataburger when I go to Texas.
Oh,
I
Whataburger?
actually buy a Whataburger at the airport and bring it home to Jim.
I need to retry Whataburger because I was not Whatapressed. I mean,
What? Oh my God.
Whataburger's kind of like if you're a Burger King fan, you're a Burger King fan. If you don't like that type of smoky burger,
I kind of like Burger King better because it
I
was
do not love Burger King.
yeah.
No. Burger King made me sick, so no, can't do Burger King.
All right, Jim. Tavish says you need to go race Pro Tour at NOLA. He'll wrench for you all the food.
so all I gotta say,
Oh,
Tavish,
really?
is right now I look good from here up. They're down. That's what to do.
If you'll win for food, I'm all in.
I don't think they make a 455 class right now.
I don't know, but Tavish is
Talking
on
with
something
food
there.
and
If
beer.
they make a 455 shifter class, Tavish, I'm in.
You're okay.
I'll eat beignets.
We'll give you a month.
Boudin.
You'll be back down.
Yeah,
Oh.
alligator.
Yeah, but that's the one place
crawfish,
that
etouffee.
I've gone to for racing that
Ooh.
everywhere the food was just outstanding. Like it was just
Oh, I grew
crazy.
up.
It was crazy.
Grew up in Houston. You get some amazing Cajun food, but there's nothing better than driving to New Orleans and just hitting up every little spot you can on the way.
No, I was just so impressed with how everything we tried or ate, everything was good. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, me too, Tavish. I just want the food too.
Okay. You're hired, Tavish.
So, Jim and Kassy, what's been your longest road trip back home from a race?
Longest road trip?
Longest road trip back home.
I think it's a two-part question. Most painful or longest?
Well, we'll go with both.
It was painful.
Because the most painful, which is almost tied for the longest, is when we raced in Qualcomm Stadium
Oh, San Diego.
in San Diego. I had to work, so I flew in, and John and Ethan and Kassy drove the truck and trailer down there. They blew up the fuel pump, burned up the diff in the truck. They got there. I flew in with my bags. They were so pissed at me. I rolled in like a rock star. I was like, "Oh yeah, how you guys doing?" And so then I had a bunch of mechanicals and figured out real quick that if you do one lap and pull off and fake a mechanical, you'll have tires for the main event. And I was running good, and then Johnny clipped the barrier, and I wadded myself up straight into him. That night, we went out, packed the truck and trailer, drove it to a buddy's house where we shouldn't be parking the truck and trailer. I think we blocked in 4 people's homes, rented a limo, went to the Gaslamp district, drank until 4:30 in the morning, and then drove home. The painful part was that John Lewis jumped on a plane because he said he had to get home. And so he flew home, and his flight got delayed, but he was, Johnny, he just talks. He talks. He's just calling us 24/7. And we are hung over for San Diego through LA traffic all the way up. Yeah, that was a long day.
But I think we beat him home.
No.
We almost beat him home because he had a delay, and he arrived like right before we got to home.
So that was probably the longest, most painful. We've had a couple of zingers going to Jason. The worst one, but that going to Vegas with that one in Firebar, California. But that one's not fun to talk about.
No,
my ulcer just finally went away from that.
Yeah.
Hey, but we got there. At least we got there with the camera and took pictures of everything, because if we wouldn't have, it was crazy.
Yeah. So for those that are wondering, it's basically just imagine a loaded truck and fully loaded trailer rolling down a hill with 7 or 8 drivers' equipment in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totaled. Just write it off.
I'm just glad you guys were okay. That was the only thing. That was the most important thing.
That was a bit of a hero story, though. I mean, it's kind of it's not a good story on the front end, but on the back end, it all happened the week before. We were supposed to leave the next day to go to Supernats, and I think it was a Sam Boyd Stadium. It was 2000 something, 7-ish, and we were racing in Vegas. And unfortunately, the truck and trailer rolled, and we had no way of. Everybody was okay, and I was like, "What do we do?" I got family coming in. It's a big event, and
it's Vegas.
We don't know if our stuff's going to be there or not. So Ethan Wilson stepped up, and he goes, "Well, I got a truck and trailer for you." He goes, "I'm going to go get it." So he goes and get it. It's a 1985 Astrovan with a single wheel trailer, and it says online racing, and it's a flat burgundy. It used to be shiny.
Yeah.
And it's truck and trailer match, and he goes, your stuff will fit in it. Just go get it. I'm like, you sure? He goes, yeah, the gas gauge doesn't work, the speedometer doesn't work, but the transmission shifts, so just go. This was
midnight.
This was 1 a.m. Oh, and
Midnight.
I had Caleb Kenny
Caleb,
with
yeah.
me. Nobody knows Caleb Kenny. He was an amazing Formula driver back in the day, raced karts, did some amazing stuff in karts. But so I got a 21-year-old kid, me and Kassy, and we're gonna go to Fireball, California, and hopefully pick up our stuff
from a tow shop.
Yeah. So we get there, did all that. We get I'm on Red Bull number 7.
We're in the Mojave Desert.
I think 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Because I'm the only one. Kassy can't drive the truck and trailer. I'm not gonna let Caleb drive it because if something happens, I didn't even talk to his parents. I said, "You sure you can go?" He's like, "Yeah, I can go." I'm like, "Okay."
He was 21.
He was 21 at the time. So we get to the Mojave Desert, and I'm like, the sun's coming up, and I'm like, "Oh, I got this."
This is the craziest thing. So I'm looking. For some reason, I'm looking out the at the mirror I was like, Jim, I was like, something doesn't look right on the trailer. I was like, it's really off.
I'm like, it's fine.
And Jimmy's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I'm like, no, hun. I'm like, something is like, all of a sudden the tire explodes.
Trailer's like this.
I told you something didn't look right.
So I pull over and I'm like, oh, we're kind of screwed on this one. I don't have a spare. I don't have a jack. All right, I'm going to leave you guys here and take off with the Astrovan. So I'm in this
in the desert by was that the Air Force Base? What was that?
So I'm in the Mojave Desert, young guy in a creepy Astrovan, pulling up, asking people where I get a jack and a tire. They go, well, you got your tire with you? I'm like, no, I don't have my tire with me. It's on the trailer. I couldn't get it off. I don't have a jack. What do you want to do?
And it was super early in the morning.
Bought the jack, bought the tire lug, got all that, pulled it off, and they go, where are you going? I go, I got to go back to town. I got to get the tire. I got to talk to this guy, Butch, whoever he is. He knows where tires are. So I drove back to town.
Here's the crazy thing, because he left me and Caleb there by ourselves.
And
we're on the side of the road, and we're like, people are just flying by. Cops are coming by. All of a sudden, one cop pulls over. He goes, hey, are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, we're just waiting because he had to go find a tire for the trailer. He goes, oh, okay. And he just leaves. I'm like,
so then I find this guy, Butch, prototypical guy named Butch. Overalls, flannel shirt. Oh yeah, I got a tire for you. I ain't got a tire right. All right, come in here. And I was like, okay. So I walk back there, get my tire. I'm pulling out. The whole time I have to do this 5-mile loop on the freeway. You get on the freeway, head down this way, you gotta go all the next second, come all the way back 5 miles, come back and do this giant loop. So then I'm coming back and I'm like, there's a ditch. I think I can make it through it. I just turned and shucked the minivan through there. I went over the ditch, popped up and landed in front of the trailer. I was like, we're getting out of here. I'm tired.
And while he was gone for that whole time, me and Caleb made little
They're making rock statues.
We made rock statues.
Well, the cell phones, it was in Mojave, so the cell phones didn't work,
service.
so it didn't matter. They could be dead on the side of the road, and I wouldn't know. But that's a lot.
Yeah, and the cops didn't care. They just left us, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just going to hang out here and just throw rocks and make things.
And we rolled into Vegas. I was like, oh.
Oh, and the second part was, everything was everywhere. The tools were everywhere. Everything was all mixed up. So
everything was covered in gear oil too.
Yeah, in the tow truck. The guys in the tow truck company, they were pulling everything out of the boxes. Oh, like the tow truck company guys, it's like they were pulling everything out of the boxes, like just looking for stuff and basically just trying to total it. And as soon as they saw the cameras, they scrambled like cockroaches. Yeah, and it's and ever since then, I have no trust of tow truck companies. But it's
it's sad.
I mean, just worse than pirates. Like they were just pillaging everything, and it's like, Here I don't remember exactly how many people had stuff on the trailer, but
There was quite
at least 5.
We had quite a big.
There was
crew.
five drivers.
Five of
There's
us.
5 drivers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I started taking pictures immediately of everything as soon as we got there.
Yeah, and then we go, oh well, we smelled gas. It's like, oh okay, you smelled gas in those brand new Honda boxes. Is that what you smelled gas in? Like a box this big?
Yeah.
But the
Thanks for bringing that up, Jim. Thanks.
I mean,
I just got over it.
I mean, that's what they call it couples in karting, but that's what the karting community does for all of us. If any one of us was in that situation, it'd be the same story. Yes, take my trailer, do this. What do you need? That's the one thing that I played sports all my life as a soccer player, and it was drop your kid off, they go to practice, and like karting or motorsports, they don't do that. This sport is so unique, and yes, it costs money, but so does everything you want to do. You want to go to Hawaii? Costs money. You want to go to cruise? Costs money. Ballet, name the thing you want to do, but this is the one thing where you don't drop the kid off at something. You have to actually physically be there, unless you have that much money, and then good on you, because that's what you can do. But I bet.
Yeah, we've had so many times.
Pretty fantastic people.
Yeah, something breaks in. It's like everybody's helping you find the parts to get your car back going for the race.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. Even though they're your competitors, they're like there to help you out if something happens.
Yeah. I kind of remember a story like that too. So we were in Atwater, and I have one picture of it, and this kid, I can't remember who it was specifically, but we're on the grid and an axle needs to be changed. Okay. So Josh and several others all just join in. And in the end, I timed it. It was a 6-minute axle change. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we had there's 4 to 5 to 6, 7 people working on this axle. And it's literally no one's fighting, no one's arguing, no one's like, this kid's on my team, not on your team, nothing. It was and now I wish I could have found the picture, but it was a mixture of everybody. And I just remember being like, wow, look at all these people working together, right? And then there goes Josh with a mallet, trying to get this axle out. And I'm like, well, he's definitely good at he's definitely good with a hammer. So that's good. But yeah, it was very cool to see everybody all just working together.
Yeah.
And it was, the reason that it sticks out is because I think we worked for Cambrian Go-Karts at the time, and it wasn't a Cambrian driver even.
Right.
It was some kid that we just wanted to make the main.
Yep.
And so they all started busting it out, and it got changed in 6 minutes. And I remember.
Come here.
And I took a picture of it, but I don't remember whose cart it was. Josh, do you remember whose cart it was? Do you remember that story?
It was Garrett.
Garrett Dixon. Oh, so he was on Cambrian. So he was a Cambrian driver. Yeah. Garrett Dixon, we love you.
Yeah.
Nice fishing.
That's so
cool.
Catching mountain trout.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It was me, Clayton Snow, and a bunch of people.
Oh, Clayton.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, Matt Dixon's in the picture. What's so crazy is I remember specifically just taking this picture oh, this is going to be a funny story. And then years later, everybody being like, what? That was the 6-minute axle change. It was some famous thing that I had just captured. And I'm like, oh, my bad. yeah, it was pretty awesome seeing everybody come together. And then that's not the only time I've seen it happen as well. I mean, I've been around karting forever and seen tons of like stuff like that, but this is definitely a sport where you see that happen more than any other. Everybody's very much like, you just have to make the main, like even if you're not on our team, even if you're not anything, like we just want everybody to race. So whether you're competitors or not, like, and even more if you're a competitor, because you're like, no, I want you to race because I want to race against you.
Right.
Things. So it kind of just becomes like everybody taking care of each other.
Yeah, it's been a community that's
ever since we started.
The whole subject matter of this talk is like couples and karting, but it's bigger than that. It's the family of karting. And yeah, couples can exist in it because there's something for everybody to do. If you want to drive, if you want to do scoring and timing and data, if you want to be a teacher, right, and support your husband who's in karting, you can do that. You're getting married soon, Jason.
Getting what?
I said now you're getting married because I said husband. Yeah.
I still didn't hear.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we have our guests. I don't know who RC's and go-karts is.
I just asked them what their name is.
Okay. Joey Hand, Barry Barnwell, and many more. Yeah, see, another story. Cart wouldn't start. 5 different dads helped me get my cart running. But you hear that often, and I do enjoy seeing it, and I do enjoy hearing about it as well.
Well, especially at the club and the local stuff, you see it a lot more. Where just definitely more so at the club level, where everybody just wants to see everyone kind of race.
Yeah, you don't really see one on the sidelines.
I think it also depends on the energy that you put out to other people. If you're somebody that's guarded and always not the friendliest person, we'll still help you, but end of the day, we all know each other for the most part and compete against each other, and I don't think anybody's not trying hard out there. You're giving it all, and you'll see teams just step up. I mean, somebody shows up and their tent's flying away, I'm going to grab it. I'm not worried about it. Something, it's the safest place you can actually be with all of your stuff and the stuff around you, because everybody's watching. Yeah. Because we all care.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because go-karting, when we leave our carts, we leave everything out overnight. I
want to bring back the 4-hour enduros, because that was a fun couples event. That's when everybody could get behind the wheel and just beat the crap out of somebody else's go-kart.
Well, if you want to donate the cart, I'm in.
Because it starts with, you got to find a sucker, and the sucker is the one that says, "Let's do the 4-hour enduro. I'll prep your cart. I'm the best there ever is." And you grab the cart, you prep it, and you send the motor.
My first enduro was, I was the last driver, and they're like, "Hey, the brakes are gone.
There's no brakes.
There's no brakes,
turn.
but you'll be okay. Just
Throttle
take
sticks.
it easy." And I'm like, "There's no brakes?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I made it. I didn't crash.
I got a funny story about that. So me, John Lewis, and Josh, are you listening? Are you listening? This is a good one. So me, Josh.
This is a good one.
Me, Josh, and John Lewis decide we want to do Johnny and I decided we wanted to do 4-hour enduro. We needed a driver because Ethan wasn't available. But the one thing that Ethan had that was available was 2 engines. One was together. The other one, not so much. He goes, "Just take it. You'll be fine." So we go out there and we're in the lead. Josh comes in. This is the second pit stop. Josh comes in. He goes, "I think it's getting tight." I'm like, threw some more oil in the fuel and go, just go. It'll be fine. He comes in. It's really tight. Now it's done. It's blown up. And so then John Lewis, there's a famous picture that I have of John. I wish I had it. He's sitting in a chair and his head's like this, and he's like, and I'm like, "Johnny, we got we got an hour and a half to go, 2 hours. Come on, get up, do something. He's like, no, we're done. I go, no, he gave us half a motor. So we literally blew the motor apart, hammered the crank out, put it all back together, got it fired, and went back out. First team in history to rebuild a motor, had no idea what they were doing, and go back out and run the end race. The one little problem,
Oh yeah.
we didn't know that there's a little tiny keyway that needs to be on the crank for the clutch. So we welded the clutch basket to the crank, and that was it. Day done. We were sitting there with a hammer, like Josh likes to use a hammer, going, Johnny's like, the crank won't come out. I'm like, you got now. Yeah.
I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to find the photo, but
We have we have some good pictures from that with the guys out there with all the stuff like all over the place.
yeah, because you have that. Well, you guys have a photo or two where just the engine is just all over the grid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, no, they're rebuilding it on the grid.
Yeah, they're doing it.
We had applause, but we didn't get no trophy. But you know what? Bring those back, because we would literally prep like we were running the 24 hours of Daytona in 4 hours. The stuff that we used to do, and just prep for that, and pit stops and.
Yeah, the first year we learned that you have to keep the chain in order for it not to break. You have to really keep.
And there's always one team that.
So we were trying to figure out how to like push oil into the chain to keep it lubricated through the.
That was cheating.
I think it was more. There were more rules about the endurance race in the pits than there was about the chassis and the engines.
And there's always one.
You guys were coming up with quick fueling jugs and all this other stuff. It's like, no. And then the roll through pit stop. No, you got to stop. You got to stop. And
there's always one team that wads the carpet up, sticky tires on carpet, just pulls all the duct tape up and sends it up. See, bring the 4-hour enduros back. Let's do a 12-hour enduro. I don't care.
I'm definitely in for the 4-hour. I'd like a 12-hour.
Josh.
Well, let's see. Where could we do
Hey, Josh, where are you? Well, that doesn't narrow it down.
What was the enduro I did at Le Mans? Was that a 2-hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was worried about it too, because it's like, 2-hour enduro. I was like, I'm going to be in the cart for a whole 2 hours. All myself.
LA, Santa Clarita right now.
They need 5G down there.
Santa Clarita? Is that where the...
How come you're not wearing a mask?
It's
what is the movie?
He's not wearing a mask because there were no masks at Super Bowl. So he's protesting.
But he's in SoCal.
All right.
Where do you guys want to go next?
Huh?
Where do you guys want to go next?
You tell us.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Whose show is this?
It's everybody's show. I'm just the mouthpiece. It really is. I mean, it really is just everybody's show. It's like
All right.
It's not Jason Barry Carter.
All right, let's cycle through. Josh, do you have any final thoughts before we go?
No. All of that for a head shake.
I don't really have anything to say.
All right. All right, Jim and Kassy, any shout outs, any things you're looking forward to in 22? Anything like that?
I have one awesome shout out. So when I started my racing in a shifter cart, I always mechanic by myself and just did it. I'd go to Vegas and I'd hire a wrench because it's impossible to do it. First off, because you can't put your cart down and run your cart stand 500 feet and get back to your cart in time before they push you off. So there's things like that. But so about 5 years ago, a guy named Peter Freiberg came to me and said, "Hey, and does anyone remember that his daughter raced?" He goes, "Hey, I'm looking to get back into karting. I'm an old man who charges nothing and just wants to be in the sport, and I like to be your wrench." So for 5 years, Peter Freiberg has been by my side racing, and then this year he's finally retired, and he's gonna just take it easy. He's gonna go fishing. I'm sad because I'm on my own, but he's not gonna be gone. He'll still come. But I said, "Hey, you gave me everything you got. I got some wins out of it. Got some funny stories out of it too.
Yeah.
Like going to Pat Sakers and watching my head pop off. That was good.
That was a fun. I liked watching that one.
But
I got to be on the sidelines and give him a hard time.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Always shout out to Rob at Illuminos. Best ribs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, those ribs he makes in 45 minutes are unconscionable. So come by the Illuminos pit during the season.
He left you some leftovers on the grill, by the way.
Yeah, probably, well, that and the rest of the foil and all the stuff strewn over the backyard. So shout out to Illuminos. Obviously, Kassy's on Italian Motors, and Claudio at Italian Motors is amazing. I started my career in shifter karting with him, won a bunch of stuff with him, and he's been really a huge supporter to Kassy.
He's been great for me.
Shout out to these guys, and I don't know, just shout out to the entire karting community. There's so many friends. I could go through 100 names right now, but you all know who you are, and I'm coming back, fatter than ever. But I'm coming back.
Watch out, Steve Pago.
I hate to admit it, but I only had Rob's ribs last night.
That's all you ate?
And the hot wings, but I had to have his ribs. They're just, I don't know.
I have to apologize, Kassy. I didn't try any of the fried pickles.
I know.
That's because they were invisible.
Are you guys?
I just realized that today. I went to the fridge to grab a pickle.
I did too.
I didn't get any fried pickles.
Pickles are laying there all ready to be prepped and fried.
Are you guys? So will we see you guys at Sonoma this year?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be at Sonoma this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a little bit later start. It's snowboard season right now. I only have probably 2 years left on my knees, so I'm gonna use them up. So I'll see you at Sonoma. I mean, even if we don't come and race, we're always coming there to watch. I like sitting on the hillside eating food and going, "Ooh, that's gonna cost money."
We'll be there in April.
Yeah.
March
is booked for us, but we'll be there in April.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Thank you guys for joining us. We're excited. We are going to start wrapping up the show. So
don't leave us though, Jim and Kassy. Stay on the back end.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna take you off the screen, but yeah, don't leave us just yet. All right. Jason. Okay.
That's Josh.
Josh, hey. Hey. All right. Any final thoughts, shout outs? No?
No. Just Prairie City Club, Donald, what he's doing there. Excellent program. I can't wait for the first club race. I think it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a pretty good turnout from what I'm looking like. So I'm excited for that. Definitely a shout out to Egan Motorsports, my homie Tyler Egan and Gary Haney, all the help he gives me. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks, NorCal.
All right. There's Josh Veloz, Jason and Cayla Berry. Any final thoughts, shout outs?
Are you going to close out my show for me tonight? Yeah, you are.
Valentine's Day.
I just want to say thank you, everyone, for chiming in, sharing the comments, the comments at the track, all that good stuff. Thank you to my wonderful wife. We don't talk much on the podcast. It's kind of odd when you're the host, so you don't want to talk about yourself, even though that's why I started this whole thing. But, I mean, she really does hold down the fort for us at the house, and there's a lot of She doesn't go to the track as much as I would like to anymore. But there's a lot of stuff. There's never that, oh, you can't go to the track. It's, if anything, it's like, get out of here, go to the track. And so thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
And my closing thoughts for the year are going to be, if we all get one person into karting in 2022, we'll double by 2023. And then, do you have anything? Nope. All right, Ashley,
All right.
take us out of here.
All right. So coming up, we are going to be doing an open call for Masters drivers. We're also going to be doing an open call for all 206 drivers for upcoming shows. I heard today we're trying to get another junior show in the works. So if you're interested in that, let us know. The Norcal Mechanics show is coming at the end of the month. We got some big names, lots of Duffies between all of them, and we're really excited. Come with your questions. They're all either drivers who have raced in NorCal, who work in specific tracks specifically. So all your questions, this is the time to have them. We are super overbooked for that show. We ended up having to split it into 2 shows. So we will have a NorCal Mechanics Part 1 and 2 coming soon. All right, NorCal, if you want to be on our show to talk about karting, let us know. Peace.